Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel! Okay, what kind of intro is that? Hello, my name is Cynistic and we are here with Narcissu. So, if you haven't heard Narcissu, it's a visual novel. And, albeit, it's probably one of the earliest visual novels I played. Not too early, there were some before, but the Narcissu was kind of like in that middle stage of like, oh yeah, I'm like reading visual novels here and there. So I wanted to go back and play it because I keep touting to myself that like, oh, I'm a visual novel channel. I like playing horror games, educational games, and visual novels, but yet I like haven't like posted any visual novels for like a shit ass long time. Well, not even shit ass. Okay, like since like ReZero or whatever. So anyway, this is me wanting to go back to playing more visual novels, so let us play Narcissu 1, because I think I've only played the first one, so whatever. I'm sure you're tired of hearing me talk, or if not, then I appreciate it, so let us go into Narcissu 1. Yeah, I kept making jokes around. Okay, right. I remember feeling very sad after the first Narcissu. Wow, the audio. Okay. Okay, here we go. With more reading from yours truly. But even so, I went to grade school normally. During summer vacation, I played until I was tanned very dark. June, soon after entering middle school. The day after, we ordered swimsuits for the swimming class that would start next month. That time was the first time I experienced being admitted into a hospital. Just a little before the first semester midterms, a day where the rain that started to fall felt awfully cold. Are you having semesters in middle school? Okay, I thought it was like a trimester thing, but alright, we're gonna go with semester. In the midst of the pure white sky of the rainy season, in the beginning, everyone in class came to visit me each day. When I was discharged from the hospital, during the weekends, they would come by my house to play. Well, that's nice. But that was just the beginning. Or in the beginning. Did it just not come anymore? Fall came, winter left, hospitalized, discharge, outpatient care, and then starting again with hospitalization. Man, that sucks. Being hospitalized for being tan. Classmates who once were called friends, at some point became acquaintances, and then turned into strangers. This man, God, middle school life is harsh. With each turning of the seasons, it seemed that I was disappearing from their memories. I guess? Why? Because you're tan? Man, girl, I can't hear you over the loud music right now. I can't tell if okay, I'll record this first part and see if I can adjust it on the next part. Erased? Oh, alright. God, please don't die. My god, I feel it, please. Is it gonna be like Air right now? Early summer 2004 Protagonist. Oh, that's us! That's us, everyone! 8 years later, 2004 early summer Protagonist. Summer, flowing sweat. In the driver's license examination area, there was a large electronic bulletin board installed. All at once, the lights came on. Like everyone else, I searched for my own number. 237. 237! Scanning on the mostly lit panel, I found my own examination number. I'm not sure if that's what that sounded like, but you know, I'm trying to improvise here. But because it was the past midday, the train car was quite empty. And in that empty car, I was on the way home from the examination center. In my left hand was the traffic regulations manual I had just received. In my shirt pocket was the brand new license. With this, I'm also normally licensed, eh? I murmured somewhat seriously, but didn't feel any particularly strong emotion. It's not like I wanted to drive cars, nor did I really have another purpose in mind. It was just people around me were going to the train center, and they recommended that I at least get a driver's license. Well, yeah. I mean, oh wait, okay, we're in Japan, right? Is it normal to usually have driver's licenses? Or is that like just one of those things where it's like, oh, I'll get it, but like soon later? That night, when I reported to my parents that I had gotten my license, oh, sure, was the short reply. And as an expert, I tried asking to borrow the car, and just as shortly, came a, "You can't!" It wasn't like I had wanted to drive the car, but the responses were exactly as I imagined. They were those sort of parents. Okay. So like assholes. Okay, I'll stop. The next day, upon waking up, my chest hurt, and so I was taken to the hospital. No! My god! Dude, why is everyone getting heartaches? It's literally like, what's his name from Kadoa Shoujo? Like, the main character has like a heart problem, and now this protagonist has a heart problem. Normally, it had little to do with sickness. That was why waiting in the initial waiting room felt extremely boring. Finally, just when I thought the examination was over, this time I went to take x-rays and blood tests, was made to go. On top of that, for a long time, I was made to wait in the boredom. Without noticing, I finished reading the 3 books of Jump manga in the waiting room, and I was reaching for a 4th. And just like that, I was made to do paperwork for being admitted to the hospital. Oh, a brand new driver's license that still lay in my shirt pocket. It looked like the time for its debut was far off. See, and I thought the twist would be like he's gonna go reach for the 4th Jump manga, and then like the lady who was before was also gonna reach for the manga, and they'd have to fight over the 4th volume. Okay, Protagonist, 2004, autumn. Around when those very noisy cicadas had stopped crying, as usual, I was in the hospital. Of course, it wasn't like I was always admitted to the hospital. I would be in and out. Last month, I had my first experience with surgery. After being discharged, I commuted 5 minutes for outpatient care by scooter. What? Wait, so you went to... Okay, whatever. Okay, in my head, I'm just like, I imagine like, wait, so he just got out of surgery, and so he like went to use a scooter to like leave? Okay, whatever. And even from then on, admitted, discharged, outpatient care, gradually moving to become admitted again. I didn't know anything about PET or Irisa, but I noticed through the comings and goings that a number of months have passed. In exchange of my decreasing appetite, the types and amounts of drugs increased. Even I could see with my own eyes that my strength was declining. No! Protagonist, we just started! My legs felt a bit thin, but... That's not your imagination! The needle on the scale would tell me. Because the needle on the scale has like a feminine voice, I would assume. And yet, I was looking at myself somehow objectively. As if watching a stranger, looking at a single screen on television. The sudden things that happened to my body, my head couldn't keep up with them. The feeling that was happening was real didn't arise. Oh, okay, so he's trying to get his sudden realizations, alright. And so, even though it was supposed to be my own body, I could only watch myself afar with cold eyes. No, he's having an out-of-body experience, no! Oh my gosh, no, and then the month came! Ah! A winter day, around when Christmas trees were disappearing from the streets. Perhaps it was the end of the year, but I was allowed to return home. Oh, that's good. To the asshole parents, I guess. In the end, it seemed to be only temporary, but even then, I was a bit happy. Oh, that's good. In the mix of rain and sleet. Sleet? What is sleet? I returned home for the first time in a while. For some reason, everyone in the family was gathered. Even though my parents normally didn't speak much, while being a bit stiff, they smiled at me. It's like, hey, now you can use your driver's license! The little sister, who I always argued with, made my favorite cream stew and fried shrimp. Oh my god, that sounds so good right now. Like, I need cream stew and fried shrimp. We sat next to each other on the kotatsu. They peeled mandarins for me. They were excessively kind. That made an impression. During this time, I had just a bit of a realization. My family doesn't care about me unless I'm hurt. Still left in the pocket the brand new license. That license, without giving rise to any particular practical value, might expire. Wait, licenses don't expire? What are you talking about? Wait, do they? Wait, are we talking about like normal like driving license, like car? Or did he say, or is this like a permit sort of thing? Oh, my dude. While having stiff, unnatural smiles directed at me. Calmly, vaguely, rather simply, I thought of that as if thinking of someone else. Protagonist, January 2005. The new year passed, and I returned again to the hospital. On that day, for some reason, I didn't go to the 4th floor, but instead to a conference room, was made to go. There, with my father and a doctor, I heard many things, was made to listen. It was that thing called notification, I guess. Did notifications not exist in 2005? Okay. They had an extremely indirect way of speaking, but in the end, it seemed like I was going to die. No! Protagonist is gonna die again! Can I just call this- oh, Hisao. Yeah, can I just call it Hisao syndrome right now? I see. And so I was only able to reply with that. I couldn't find other words. From when I entered until I left the room, that was all that I said. Hearing my answer, the doctors quickly wrote with the ballpoint pen in his hand. Most likely, it was the paperwork for the hospice. To the very end, he was very businesslike. My father was very much the same. I'm just imagining like he has a pen and a paper and it's just like, your son's gonna die, bitch. And then the father's just like, okay, I understood. It was such a simple thing. That was my honest impression. And then, between that day and the next, I changed from the 4th to the 7th floor, from a 6-patient room to a single. And also, the 7th floor itself was a bit different from other floors. It was 7 feet off the ground. Okay, for one thing, the floors were sparkling. The ceilings were much higher, much more expansive. Inside the rooms, it was extremely clean. The large windows seemed designed to let in lots of sunlight. However, the windows only opened a tiny bit. When I tried measuring it, it was slightly smaller than would allow your head to pass through. Also, the color of the ID bracelets changed. It's like super cool now. Since the day I was admitted, a vinyl bracelet was always wrapped around my wrist. Upon it was my name and blood type. The color had changed from blue to white. Cool. What's your blood type, bro? High ceilings, white vinyl bracelets, windows that could only open 15 centimeters. The day I was transferred to the 7th floor, it was when the boring New Year's program was still being broadcast. The time I met her for the first time was also the very beginning of the year. We're gonna meet our lovely lady?